Hello, welcome to the Glenn Beck program. Back on October 5th, the White House said something. By the way, final episode June 30th, 8 shows left. Don't miss a single one. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about energy, because on the 5th of October, the Energy Secretary, Steven Chu, made America an exciting promise, and here it is.
The White House will lead by example. I'm pleased to announce that by the end of this spring, there will be solar panels that convert sunlight into electricity and a solar hot water heater on the roof of the White House.
Oh my goodness. I thought when I heard that, I thought, thank you, Jesus, for having a hot water tank powered by the sun on the top of the White House, because that's going to make all the difference in the world. We're fixed, America. That's how upside down this White House is. By the way, look at the clock. Officially, end of the spring. Let me show you what it looks like. Now at the top, I don't see it. Where are the solar panels? Must be an old picture. Tiffany, is this an old picture?
It's a brand new picture.
Brand new picture. So I don't know where the solar panels are. Maybe it was a different spring. Maybe it's camouflage. Maybe they didn't do it because it's bullcrap from the beginning. What do you think? No solar panels. Even though this White House solar panel project was, quote, designed to accelerate deployment of solar technologies. Now, I know it's been 259 days since the announcement, but let me defend the president here. That may seem like 259 days. If I bought the solar panels and they weren't up on my roof yet, I'd be a little pissed. But remember, 259 days in union time, that's like 10 minutes. So back on down. Tonight, the administration's attack on our most reliable and our most needed energy sources, all in the name of going green. Oh, and the extra little added bonus of how our businesses are suffering because of it. Come on. Oh boy. Look at them. Look at them. Some of these people in this audience, big oil people. Yeah, big coal people. Some of them businessmen. Oh, don't worry, we've alerted the authorities. Hello, America. The president spoke today at the DNC. Actually, I think it was actually yesterday. His 30th fundraiser of the year. Just a little perspective. The last president at this point in his re-election period had 3 fundraisers. 30 for this one. The White House has released a transcript of the fundraiser. Believe it or not, this is not edited. It's right there on whitehouse.gov. Drudge caught this and posted it, and I want to show you the remarks by the president, and it ended with laughter. Over the last 15 months, we've created over 2.1 million private sector jobs. Laughter. That's funny. Man, that's funny. Ignoring the pain of the American people and the horrific economy and the 9.1% unemployment, all the companies shutting down, people struggling to just put food on the table or have gas in their car. Man, that's funny, Mr. President. It really is. You're a riot. Speaking of riots, which are coming soon, at the same event, Obama also talked about energy. And here's what he said, quote, "We have begun the process of changing how we think about energy in this country." Oh, he's done that. Yes. We don't even think about energy in the country anymore. It's like, whatever spills out of that socket there, it's a magic wall box. I don't even know how that energy gets in there. Came with the house, I think. The primary energy sources the Americans rely on to operate and function, you know, for the blender when they're making daiquiris at those really swank functions at the White House, are now treated as enemies. The companies that provide them are also treated as enemies. The FTC has launched yet another investigation into big oil. Regulators are, quote, examining whether oil companies or refiners and traders have manipulated crude oil markets and caused the increased gas prices. This is so weird because they don't have any evidence whatsoever. In fact, I've got a stack of evidence on what is causing the problem, but no, they're involved in a political witch hunt. Back in April, Obama created a joint task force of the Justice Department and the FTC to investigate the oil and gas markets. They haven't found anything, but they're determined to get to the bottom of these outrageous prices. Now, America, if you have a clue on what's causing these outrageous prices, could you do me a favor? Just put them in a box and send them to the White House. Put all those clues there. They have a box of clues. They'll be like, I don't know. I don't have a box of clues. Ding dong, the post office will deliver it. Box of clues. What do you think? Put in that box maybe a president who says making energy prices skyrocket is necessary. I know the odds of finding something that obvious are really slim, especially if you work for the Justice Department. Maybe you have a chance of finding out a printing press somewhere where they're printing up money and oil is pegged to the dollar. So if you devalue the dollar, your energy prices would necessarily skyrocket, wouldn't they, Mr. President? Maybe you could find an out-of-control government agency going out of their way to shut down coal plants like the EPA. Their new stricter regulations have already caused one of the country's largest power companies, the American Electric Power, to close at least 5 plants. That'll cost us hundreds of jobs and invest $6 billion to meet the new requirements a coal plant needs to meet now. By the way, another one in San Antonio just announced that it's going to close shop because of the stricter regulations as well. Quote, it was a decision really driven by expectations that we're going to have to face more challenging environmental regulations. Cass Sunstein, is that you? Oh, you're crazy. An executive at that plant expects more to follow suit. Now, the timing couldn't be better because this economy is about to rocket and then blow up. Yes, it is. Couldn't be better in the timing, in Texas especially. You remember Texas, the state that's creating 50% of the jobs now? Texas population is booming. Power companies are struggling to keep up with the increased demand. Texas has 19 coal-fired plants, more than any other state. And don't forget, creating half the job that Obama was joking about at his fundraiser. You might hate coal. You might think to yourself, man, I always hated it when Santa was going to bring it to me. You might hate it with everything in you. But every time you turn on your light at your home, you should fall to your knee and say, thank you, coal. Coal is used to generate about half of the electricity consumed in the United States. Here's an idea, you environmentalist wackos. Ban coal. But before you do that, I want you to use half of the electricity in your own home, in your own life, in your own office, and tell me how sweet it really is. And don't wait for the Obama administration to put the solar power, hot water heater on the roof first. Lead by example, you weenies. Okay, coal. Coal is the largest domestically produced source of energy. Half of our electricity, largest source. Why would our president make it harder for Americans to gain access to our most easily accessible energy in the middle of an economy teetering on the brink of disaster? What do you think? Why would he do that? I know he wants everybody to have a windmill in their front lawn, and I'm hoping mine comes really soon. I'm going to put it in after my solar panel on the roof, and I have my car plugged into the wall. Thank you, GM. But the technology is not there for all of those things to happen. Talk to GM. The government cannot force innovation. It doesn't work. And by the way, if I plug my car in because of evil oil, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to plug my car in. Where does the electricity come from for the car? Out of the magic box in the garage? A coal-fired plant. Now, let's see if any of these policies on energy this administration is making any sense whatsoever. Here is America's overall energy consumption breakdown. Petroleum, 37%. Evil oil, hate those guys. Natural gas, 25%. I don't know what to think. Nobody said anything about them yet. Coal, evil. Nuclear, dangerous and evil. Renewable, 8%. Perfect. Perfect. How are we going to survive? I just showed you the war on coal from this administration. They're shutting down the plants, exactly what the president said he would do. Oil, our top overall energy source, and the administration is, what are they doing? Relentlessly investigating, threatening to take windfall profits, making it harder for them to get more domestic oil. The Gulf, the BP spill, the administration put a moratorium on offshore drilling in the Gulf. The longer this went on, the harder it got for local companies to keep their doors open. We've lost jobs. We've lost all kinds of things, tens of thousands of jobs, skyrocketing gas prices. And then the president says, I'm going to put permits out. Yeah, try to get one. While the shares of major U.S. oil companies have tanked, Petrobras, Brazil's main oil company, oh, they're in the money. They're doing great. Of course, the president went down there and said, we're going to be their biggest customer. How about a policy where everybody else is our biggest customer? Because I don't know about you, but I'm kind of fresh out of checkbooks. Oddly enough, George Soros had his largest holding in Petrobras. 3 months after the BP spill, Soros dumped his shares in the company. Then when his eyes, started wandering around and our eyes stopped looking at him, guess what happened? He increased his holdings again in Petrobras to more than 1 million shares. What? What? Just those two sources, coal and petroleum, are 60% of our total energy, and they're under attack. I have an idea. Everybody who hates coal and oil, you stop using them. Because that's got to be at least 60% of the population. So you stop using them. We'll use them still, but you can save the planet. We're going to survive. What do you say? May I ask you, and the president says, well, I got my metal detector out and I've been walking around the beach all over the world trying to figure out what's causing these high oil prices. What do you say? Could it be, perhaps, maybe, possibly, what's happening in the Middle East? Libya? Egypt? What do you think? Possibly? Is our action in the Middle East? Is our president saying, revolution? Hey, crazy kids all over the world, you should all do that. Do you think that's helping or hurting the price at the gas pump? What do you think, America? It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Tonight, I'm going to show you how business is being affected by energy prices. We have a studio full of those evil entrepreneurial capitalists. Oh, I don't even know how we let them in the front door. How many people here are businessmen or women? How many people here have their business being hurt right now because of the situation we find ourselves in? Not necessarily the, president or anything else, but because, okay. How many people are expecting even more problems because of the energy policies that we're pursuing right now? Perfect. Your jobs are going to be so secure soon because of the president. It's going to be great. It is. We might be a little chilly and hungry and poor, but the earth will be saved. No, actually it won't. It's just going to keep going, doing what it does. America has always done well because of our energy. We have, if you grew up in the Soviet Union, You know, when we bought Alaska, the Soviets went, crap. They knew they were in trouble because we had all of those resources. Now, we don't use any of those. But on the bright side, we do have really, really cold, barren land that nobody ever walks around. We have that. Other countries like China and Russia are pursuing cheap energy, while we're pursuing more expensive and the least productive energy sources. When the world breaks down, and it will, because it always does, but life goes on, we'll be cold because we're banking everything we have on the Middle East and a solar panel that we can't even get installed on the roof of the White House. And he's the president. Can I tell you something? I think that sounds like the dumbest idea. I would rather bank on the flux capacitor than this energy policy. Tonight we're going to introduce you to some energy executives as well who know firsthand about these policies. Bob Murray is with us. Hello, Bob.
Good evening, Glenn.
Bob, I want you to know, is a friend of mine. I have to admit that. I'm in bed with big coal. Bob and I, we met, what, 2 years ago, Bob? Bob Murray is the CEO of Murray Energy, a coal company in Ohio. And we have talked, I don't know how many times, Bob, a couple of times in the last couple of years. And I was struck by you because you're a guy who started with nothing. You built a company, you created jobs, you've defended workers, and you have put up with more crap from unions and administrations past and present than I think anybody. I heard your story the first time and I thought, there is a strong man. Tell me what happens if the coal plants start to close down.
When President Obama ran for the presidency, he said, you can build a coal plant in America, but we're going to bankrupt you. Biden said, no coal in America. What they have done to date, by the latest study that just came out by the National Economic Research Associates, are going to cost America 1,440,000 jobs by 2020. Just out, independent agency. Going to raise electric rates in this country $184 billion through 2020, Glenn. 1.44 million jobs, $184 billion increase in electric rates, which is a staple of life. But to me, sir, that's the national issue. It's bad enough. It's also a human issue to me. I live with our miners. These jobs I created from scratch. There's only 3,100 of them, but the universities say those mining jobs yield 37,000 jobs nationally due to the secondary jobs created for the goods and benefits. Sir, these people want to work in honor and dignity, and they're being denied that by Obama and his out-of-control regulatory agencies and policies. Sir, this isn't the America that I've known and have cherished. For them and their families to be denied their lives and livelihoods and jobs for these policies that are going to accomplish nothing. One more thing, sir. Exports of coal from America are at record levels. He has denied the American utilities the ability to use this coal, so we're exporting it to countries that are building power plants every day. China, a new 500 megawatt power plant every week. What they are doing is using the low cost electricity because it costs 4 cents a kilowatt hour compared to 22 cents for solar, 9 to 10 cents for gas, and of course solar and wind have $24 a kilowatt hour in subsidies from you, sir, the taxpayer. So what he's done is he has exported that low-cost coal. They have the low-cost generation. The jobs have been exported to the foreign countries. Our people are unemployed, and it is insanity.
Is there anybody here that can explain it and give somebody the benefit of the doubt? I see this, quite honestly, America, I apologize, but I see this only as one, I mean, you're trying to cripple business and the country, and you're trying to fundamentally transform. When we come back, Jack, you say you can give him the benefit of the doubt and show another path to this. We'll go there next.